Radio rebels, politics, news, conspiracies. Wake up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. It's the type of stuff I'm into, all right? Make sure you tune in. Let's go.
Let's go. Big City 101.3 FM, waking up with TaylaAndre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. We just gonna go ahead and open up these phone lines now, 617-282-0062, whatever it is that you want to talk about, whatever it is that you want to discuss. We have black men killed, we have police being gunned down, and we have Black Lives Matter being blamed for it all of it. Black Lives Matter is being called the KKK of black rights. I really would like for us to break down some of the news reports that took place as far as Dallas is concerned, because I'm a little confused on how exactly everything took place, and nothing makes sense to me. I don't think anything makes sense to anybody else, but the phone lines are open. Everybody is free to call, free to give your opinion, free to help us figure out what is the solution. What is the solution? What is a possible solution? From Black Lives Matter shutting down damn near every metropolitan city, and maybe not shutting down, but definitely being active, definitely, collaborating with organizations. Like, people are waking up. And as excited as I am about people waking up, I'm also scared to death because people are waking up due to a nightmare. And if you've ever woken up from a nightmare, it takes you a long time for you to actually say, the difference between reality and this nightmare. And I wish people gradually woke up. And I mean that in the sense of actually waking up. Like, when you compare waking up gradually, birds are chirping, I'm excited, thank you, whoever it is that you pray to, I'm up, versus waking up screaming, being scared to death, trying to get your ground. I'm scared for us. I'm worried for us. I'm concerned. So the phone lines are open. If there's anything you want to say, if there's anything you want to share, if there's anything that you feel strongly about, you don't understand, let's talk it out, baby. Let's talk it out, because I'm sick of feeling the way that we feel right now. And the best way to get over something is to talk about it, right? So I want to give a huge shout out. That is a chica, one of the greatest athletes of all time, Serena Williams. I'm so excited for her. Yes, that baby is absolutely amazing. She won her 7th Wimbledon title and her 22nd Grand Slam victory. She is absolutely beautiful, absolutely amazing. And she is a chica. So there's a picture that's been floating around, and this picture has been floating around for a long time, of her losing a game. And she's just in the background smiling, looking at the winner, and just really excited for the winner. And there's no malice, there's no anger, there's no hatred, just real joy and happiness for this player. And the title of the meme is, there's two type of players. And in the other picture, it's of a loser looking at her with spite, with anger, with animosity, with hate. There's two type of players in this game. Which one are you? But she is absolutely amazing. I love her. Way to go, Serena Williams. Way to put everybody on the map. 22nd Grand Slam victory. 7th Wimbledon title. And nobody wants to talk about the prince that was there. Everybody wants to talk about the fact that Beyonce and Jay-Z was there in attendance supporting Serena. Shout out to them as well. Black Lives Matter leader D. Ray McKenson is freed after arrest in Baton Rouge protest. We want to give a huge shout out to Raspy Rawls. I don't know if you guys remember, Raspy Rawls did an interview with us last Black History Month. The interview was on Mixcloud. It's absolutely amazing. He's a really amazing activist and all that he's done nonstop for the past few years. He also was arrested, but of course Raspy's not going to make the news, but D-Ray did. And it is revealed that the jail staff made protesters wear the orange jumpsuit for booking photos, which is not the norm. That is not normal protocol at all. Usually you just wear whatever clothes you have, you take your photo and you go in whatever holding cell they put you in. But they went ahead and the staff made protesters wear orange jumpsuits for the booking photo. A lot of the protesters had shirts on that said stay woke or Black Lives Matter, or had the red, black, and green, flag or something that, listen, I have a lot of feelings. I have a lot of emotion. The fact is, it wasn't normal protocol. The fact is, this jail that D-Ray as well as Raspy Rawls were held in is one of the most notorious jails for cruelty, for punishment, for lack of protocol, as well as some of the most unhealthiest conditions in any other jail. And this is fact, not my opinion. D-Ray was released on Sunday afternoon after spending 16 hours in jail for obstructing a highway during a protest. Although arrested in a Stay Woke t-shirt, he was pictured wearing an orange jumpsuit. There's also a young lady who was arrested, and she is 28 years old. She's a mom. She's a nurse, and you may have seen her pictures. She was wearing a black and white polka dot dress. She had glasses on, and there were two police officers that swarm in or went in and scooped her up. But she was standing there with her hands in front of her, and she was arrested for her crime. And she's like, "But what's my crime, though?" And a lot of people are trying to figure out. A lot of protesters were arrested for they weren't hitting anybody, they weren't throwing anything, they weren't doing anything, they were just peacefully protesting. Since when do you get arrested for peacefully protesting? Well, Tayla, they shut down the highway. Well, I remember shutting down the highway here in Boston too, standing outside of South Bay Jail. We didn't get arrested. They didn't even have all the tactical gear looking like they're in a third world country. The police just came out in police gear, whatever they had on. If there was no need, if there was no violence, why did they come out like there was? Why did they act as if there was violence? Why were they arresting so many people who were peacefully protesting? A woman captured silently confronting heavily armed Baton Rouge police in a powerful photograph is the 28-year-old mom and nurse who spent 24 hours in jail for her crime. The woman who was captured in the iconic arrest photo from Baton Rouge has been revealed as 28-year-old Aisha Evans. Evans is a licensed practical nurse and a mother to a 5-year-old son, and she was attending her first protest on Sunday. Friends told reports that she was arrested as police tried to push demonstrators back from their building. Evans found their actions unjust as the protest was peaceful. No one crossed any lines. No one was disrespectful. She said that she crossed her hands and stared at them. She was held for 24 hours, but now has been released and is recovering in a hotel room before traveling home. I can't imagine the mental strain that may put on a person, but people, I'm always here for the comments. If anything, more than the report, I really enjoy reading the comments and the amount of hate that is online, the amount of anger that is online, the amount of, I don't know, just start reading the comments, baby. It'll blow your mind. Even here in Boston, when we had our Black Lives Matter protest yesterday, which went all the way up Warren Street, if you read some of the comments from here in our own city, here, I believe it was Fox 25 that went ahead and had a helicopter in the sky and was posting videos and live feed on Facebook. And if you just read some of the comments, they are so ignorant. And then you wonder where we get it from. Then you wonder, why Why aren't any of these comments positive? Why aren't any of these comments uplifting and loving? Nothing, no one got shot. Nobody got hurt. Nobody was, outraged at the police. It was just a peaceful protest. And then you understand that Rudy Giuliani was live yesterday, and after hearing what he has to say, you then understand why the rest of society, why the rest of the United States of America feels some type of way when we have leaders like Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani that aren't speaking positively about anything that's going on. Black Lives Matter is inherently a racist group, is inherently a hate group, says Rudy Giuliani, who suggests that Black parents need to teach your children how to be respectful to police. But what do you do when we have on film people that are respectful to the police but still get hemmed up, people that are respectful to the police that still get killed, people that are respectful to the police that still get locked up? What do you say then, Rudy Giuliani? The former New York City mayor, Rudy Giuliani, argued that there is a disproportion when Black people killed by cops get all the attention. But what about when white kids get killed by cops? Well, thank you, Rudy Giuliani, for bringing up a very valid point. We're speaking out about police terrorism. Thank you for understanding that this is not one-sided. It's a problem across the board. He said that Black Lives Matter should care about the Black kids being killed every 14 hours in Chicago instead of focusing solely on the police that are killing them. I said this last week. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it forever. When you grew up in a household that didn't value you or didn't value anybody in the street, your neighbors don't value you, your parents don't value you, and you have this mindset, and everybody in your community has this mindset, such as in Chicago, you kind of expect the people in your community to, not the people in your community, but who are you going to kill? You don't have a vehicle, you can't travel anywhere, you're angry, you're mad, you live in your community. Who else are you going to kill but people who live in your community? Right? No, I'm not saying that this is the right way to do it. This is how it should be done. No, but when you have tactical training, when you have psychological examinations, when you have all the skills, training, and equipment that you need to subdue people, there's no reason why you should be murdering them. So I understand Black on Black crime needs to be addressed, and we are addressing this every day, are we not? With the organizations, with the taking guns off the street, with parents. Last time I checked, there were parents turning in their children. Oh, that's super loud. 617-282-0062. Give us a call. Anything you want to talk about, baby. If you feel some type of way, I feel some type of way, get your feelings out. Good rising, caller, you're live.
Hey, good rising, Tim. How's it going?
Super fantastic. How are you?
Good. Hey, I read those comments about that Rudy Giuliani made. I mean, it's ridiculous. See, when I read comments like that, the way I look at it is like this. The United States right now is like a drug addict that is failing to realize they have a problem. You cannot solve a problem until you realize you have a problem. That's the first step. You have to acknowledge you have a problem. Until they acknowledge that this is a problem, nothing's going to happen. And to them, this is not a problem. We're making this up. We're the ones that's causing the problem. To them, that's the way they look at it. We're the ones that's causing the problem. It's not a problem of police terrorism, because I'm not calling it police brutality anymore. It's police terrorism.
Yeah.
Until they acknowledge it's a problem, nothing is going to happen. We can scream and moan and groan all we want, but that's the first step. So just think about that. Any addict, the first step to an addict stop being an addict is
to admit
understanding that they have an issue and they want to solve the issue.
Yeah.
They don't want to solve this issue because to them it's not an issue. That's the problem.
You want to know what? Thank you, baby. I love and appreciate you. I hope you have an awesome day. One of the things that I said on Friday, I think I just said this on Snapchat. This wasn't something that was live. But to the other caller who just called, baby, give us a call back, 617-282-0062. bigger than our police departments, bigger than our government. We have a problem in our media. Our media is our biggest problem. That is the number one issue that we first need to tackle. We need to tackle the images that are across our screen on a regular basis. How do you do that? I'm asking, this is a real question, 617-282-0062. How do you alter the corporation, because, you know, media is a corporation, it sells, and there's 6 individuals that own all forms of media, whether it's online news, whether it's the news that comes on whatever channel it is that you watch, whether it's your newspaper, unless it's individual, independent media, all media is owned by the same 6 friends that bump each other up on a regular basis. So what we gonna lie and tell the people today, boo? 6 people, 6 corporations. It used to be over 50 back when I was born, and that was in 83. In 83, there were over 50 different corporations that controlled the media. Now we have 6. That is one of the biggest problems that we have. And I want to go back to media. I want to go back to Dallas and what the things the media was saying. What the first reports came out. What first reports came out? 617-282-0062. What are the first things you heard from the media as they were just live? We just got some new information. What were some of the first things you heard? Hey, politics, news, conspiracies. I ain't gonna say it, but whatever you heard, we can definitely talk about it because it's not making sense to me at all. Not only in the media, but in all forms of television. What are we teaching our children? In all forms of television. When you look at television, what the images that come across our television screen that we take into our ear gates, that we take into our eye gates, you know, what exactly are the things that we are teaching our children? And a lot of people are mad at me because the news is reporting that he wrote RBG, you know, in support of the red, black, and green African pride flag. Where's the audio at? He taunted police for over 2 hours. When he taunted police for over 2 hours, because in the video that I saw, there was a gunfight. There was no taunting for 2 hours. Last video I saw, it was continuous back to back to back shooting, and they had him cornered, but they didn't have him cornered for 2 hours. Last time I checked reports. And then you go back, and some of the things that I screenshot are no longer available, are no longer there. But yet, you remember my dude that was accused of being the sniper because he had, in an open carry state, he had his gun on his back. You know that stayed up for more than 36 hours after they found out that man was innocent, after they questioned him and released him. That article on the Dallas police Twitter feed stayed up for 36 hours after they released him. But yet, I can't find no reports of, we just caught a neo-Nazi that shot 11 police and killed 5. I can't find that report. I can no longer find that there's 4 individuals that were caught. I can no longer find the woman with the army fatigue duffel bag that was in tactical gear. Can no longer find that report. But I can find that a man who was questioned and released, who is not guilty, but yet there's still a Twitter photo on the police department's page, Dallas Police Department, that says, "This is our suspect, help us find him." For real? We have a huge problem with our media, baby. A huge problem. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Have you seen that video? I believe it's on YouTube. And it's like 7 different reports. But it's reporters saying the exact same thing. It's like California, Texas, Idaho, Iowa, New York, New Jersey. But the exact same verbiage is verbatim is coming out of these newscasters' mouths. And it's not like because they're sitting next to each other. It's not like because they're in the same state. It's not. No, there's like 25 in Dallas or 72 in Providence. But they're saying the exact same thing. The media is controlled. It is a corporation. This is our biggest problem more than anything. Why? Well, aside from the fact that we also have a curriculum that teaches you are better than me and everything that's ever been created on earth was created by you and I'm nothing more but a slave. Until we get control of our curriculum and our media, we can't control the images and what people think about those that they are policing, those that they come in contact with. There's a video on Instagram right now with a lady sitting on her back porch talking, rape! He's like, what do you mean rape? She said, I saw you staring at me. But did I rape you though? Why are you screaming rape? Because you're staring at me. Why do you feel so comfortable screaming things that have no truth in them? Because you believe I'm a certain type of person. Why do you believe this? Maybe based on your curriculum, maybe based on the images that you see on television. These are the things that we have to get control of. We have problems out here, baby. What are our solutions? Instead of protesting in the street, what are our real solutions? I don't have the answer, Sway. 617-282-0062, Garage and call you live.
Good morning. Did you hear about that story about hanging in Atlanta, the black kids?
I did see this story. There's a black gentleman that was found hung in Atlanta, and what they're saying is that he hung himself. That's what they said. And reports in Atlanta said that they don't report on suicides. And because they don't report on suicides, how many people have been murdered and it's been deemed a suicide that got no type of media attention?
It said in like the day before, the KKK was passing out pamphlets in the same park. You didn't hear that part?
I heard a lot of things, but there is nothing that I heard that confirms that it was any type of foul play. And that's what reports are saying right now, that there was no foul play at all.
I just want to bring that to your attention and see if you heard anything like that.
I definitely did. Politics, news, conspiracies, I can only say so much. And when people are like, hey, it was a suicide, what can I say? Other than the report that there was a quote unquote suicide that took place in Atlanta the day after the KKK was handing out pamphlets. Like, we have no proof. And that's what, like, where's the proof at? Don't pin this on us. We ain't got nothing to do with this. Show us proof.
All right, that was it. Thank you.
Love and appreciate you, baby. Thank you so much. Hope you have an amazing day. Good rise and call you live.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm super fantastic. How are you?
All right. They said that the guy that shot up the nightclub in Florida, they said that there was I guess somebody had recorded a girl that they were interviewing, and she said that he said, how many black people are in here? And
he said, y'all got enough problems.
I can't find that. Did he really say that? Or
so there is, all right, as far as she is concerned, she has been ousted as a reporter. They're saying she's a reporter. They're saying that she's a crisis actor, but there was a video with her sitting like in a wheelchair, and they were doing a press conference, and she said that he walked in, said, how many black people are in here? And, certain people raised their hand. There was a gentleman that was standing behind her that didn't answer, and she was like, yes, it's, we're in here. He said, y'all got enough problems. I'm not here for you. I haven't seen that video since then, but what I would suggest every single last one of you do is if you see something that look a little fishy, save it on your phone. Save it on, because there's a video that I try to take off Facebook. I can't take it off because somebody downloaded it and keeps reposting it. So, and I have absolutely no control to take it down. So, go on and download it, baby. Go on.
Hey, quick. I had Googled why white people hate black people, and I came across this post of a ex neo-Nazi or whatever he was, and he was like down in Georgia somewhere. He had a crazy country accent, and it was, you know, he was like, you know, white people are terrified of black people. He said that they're afraid of the retribution, and you know, they apparently, you know, they know that we are kind of suffering through a lot of the things in society and life and everything. They know the scales are not balanced, and for some odd reason they think that we're gonna snap and just start killing every, you know, Caucasian person that we come across. And I just found it kind of interesting why he was saying it like that. You know, he literally said they are terrified of African Americans and black people and stuff like that. So
I'm trying to find a video that was sent to me yesterday. There was a video that was sent to me, and this was a recent interview that was taken in, I want to say, either Tennessee or in Mississippi. And it was of, you know, not really, they don't identify themselves as white supremacists. They identify themselves as Christian and nationalist, and, you know, they don't identify as white supremacists, but they said that, you know, just give them their own land and let them be alone. We don't want to race mix. There's no reason why we should be integrated into each other. And this was a white man speaking. He said, listen, give them their own land and let them be. I don't understand why, you know, we have to do all this integration. We were fine without them and they were fine without us. And we created this. This is our fault. So as soon as we...
You know, I'm sorry to interrupt you. You know that Dr. Claude Anderson said that integration was the worst thing that ever happened to us?
He's not the only one. A lot of people say that.
Wow. He said that integration was the worst thing that ever happened to black people.
Tweet that. Wow. Is integration the worst thing that happened to blacks?
Touch base with you. Thank you.
Thank you, baby, so much. Love and appreciate you. Hope you have an amazing day today. Wake up with TaylaAndre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7, Big City 101.3 FM. Give us a call, 617-282-0062. If you want to call to listen, we do have a new telephone line because I know recently we've been getting a lot of complaints as far as the app being down. We've been having technical difficulties. So for temporary issues, I would say 605-475-0008. Go ahead and save that number into your phone. You can go ahead and put us on your Bluetooth and listen in the car, or you can go ahead and put us on your speakerphone and listen as you get ready for work. Again, that number is 605-475-0008. Jules, can you tweet that for us, please? We have another call on the line. Whatever you want to talk about, I want to get it out. As far as Motivational Monday is concerned, so many people are feeling some type of way. So many people are feeling depressed. So many people are just down and out. And one of the things that I would like for us to do is talk about it. What is bothering you so much about the Black Lives Matter being blamed for the police being shot in Dallas? What do you want? What do you think solutions are? What do you think we can do as far as solution-based are concerned? Instead of focusing on the problem, how can we focus on the solution? And I want to know, don't just hit me up on Facebook. How many of y'all received that text message that's not supposed to go public? Raise your hand, baby. I got about 17,000 different times for a million different people. 617-282-0062. Good rise and call you live. Hey, Miss G.
Okay. I kind of say, why should we leave here? We help build this country. And also, I mean, people should think about moving to a different place that you really don't know. Your son went over to Dubai, and he
loved it.
Looked at all the signs over there and read the moves, and it's just like living here. So why should we go and have to build up and fight for our rights in another country when we can continue fighting? There's oppression everywhere. And also, I go back through my history and I say they're pointing their finger at Black Lives Matter. And look at their history. And I want to bring up something, Charles Stewart. Do you remember that case?
Charles Charles Stewart? I don't remember that case.
Okay, Charles Stewart, so many years ago, shot his wife in the head, and when he brought her from a birthing class, was going through Mission Hill and said he got wrong.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, I do, Miss G.
Okay. So we were continuing on the struggle no matter what. And that's all I got to say, because I'm getting pissed off here. Okay.
I understand, Miss G. I love you. I thank you. I appreciate you. And I hope you have an amazing day today.
I always do. Thank you.
Thank you. 617-282-0062. Waking Up with TaylaAndre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. Big City 101.3 FM. Again, that call to listen number is 605-475-0008. Or you can give us a call and call in and let's talk about our feelings, baby. Let's talk about it all. And do not forget, we can talk about it all this Friday with Tariq Nasheed. He will be live in the building as he will be in Boston for the Strand Theater. Doors open at 6 p.m. Show starts at 7 p.m. Tariq Nasheed will be here on air on Friday, and then he will be at the Strand Theater. Doors open at 6 p.m. Show starts at 7 p.m. I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, ZC Boston, half price sushi during the weekend. $1 a shuck for the first dozen. This is Monday through Friday. For your first dozen, those little quahog clams, those things are, I'm not a fan, but they're $1 each for the first 12. You also have a 3-mile radius, free parking, free delivery. The food is amazing. And they deliver until 1 a.m. They close at 2 a.m. And this is Monday through Sunday. They are open until 2 a.m. every single night. They deliver until 1 a.m. every single night. Free parking, 2 hours for lunch, 3 hours for dinner. Face with an S, natural with an S, beauty.com. I've been feeling some type of way this entire week. For the last maybe 10 days, I've been in my feelings, in my emotions. Yesterday, I took a bath. Let me tell you, scent therapy is real. Scent therapy can take you out of a funk. Scent therapy can take you out of your feelings and really put you back and elevate your vibration and elevate your energy. And that's what I did yesterday. I went ahead and I detoxed, took a bath, detoxed it out with the Face Detox Soak. And then from there, I went ahead and took I took about 3 baths yesterday because I understand the importance of cleansing and not just cleansing your body, but also cleansing your spirit. And water does help, as well as her hair milk. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. These curls are about 3 days old. anything in 3 days. These are Face Naturals curls. They're about 3 days old. Don't forget the Pum Pum Wash, the Summer Scrub, the Good Rising, and the Charcoal Teeth Whitener. 617-282-0062. Good Rising, caller, you live.
Good morning, Taylor. How you doing?
I am super fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing good. Taylor, you know what I find kind of troubling is the guy that shot the man in Minneapolis was the light-skinned African Latino. And I think if we go to the 3-race system, it might help the situation. Like, you look at the Arabs, they consider themselves a different group. There's only 3 races: Asian, African, and
Caucasian.
and European. And everyone that we see being killed, I don't care if it's in the Middle East or Southeast Asia, they all have African DNA. If the 1.5 billion had its own defense, it would change. There's power in numbers. Look at the Jewish people. No matter where they're born at, they consider themselves one group. If you mess with a Jew in France or Italy, they will unite and kick your butt. Well, they won't do because most Jews can't fight, but they'll hire someone. The point is, there's safety in numbers.
He's so ignorant.
I truly believe if 1.5 billion people consider themselves one race, these things would change. Like that Latino cop that shot that black guy, when he goes into prison, if he was locked up with a group of Aryan nation people, trust me, they will make it very clear. You speak Spanish, but you're not European.
So what is your solution? That we go to a three
race global identification, whether you're European, Asian, or African. No more of this Latino crap, no more of this Arab crap. You're whatever one of the 3. There are European Middle Eastern folks, just like there's African ones. If you look at these Egyptians and Libyans, they're 10 shades darker than Zulu, but yet they identify with the European race. You even though they'll bomb the heck out of them. And we went through a three-way system, just like you get a mark, a license that says American, no more nationality. It should be a three-way system no matter where you want to go. Because that's how things are. No matter where you're born at, people see your race before they see your nationality or your language.
That's true. That's true. So your solution is a three-race classification. And
because they're doing it already. The people in power are mainly European. And no matter where they go, they see themselves as European. They can be born in Canada, France, wherever. Wherever Europeans are going, they get white privilege. So if we had the three system and we were African, no matter where we was at, if we saw a bunch of African Egyptians getting their butts kicked in the South End, we're like, yo, they're on our team. Let's help them. Just like, it's funny, after 9/11 happened, you know how the Arabs got a little bit cooler with the darker people? I mean, that lasted all of 3 months. But as soon as they were getting their butts kicked, all of a sudden they wanted to unify. Whenever you were getting beat up, the common thing to do is to find someone else who's also getting a butt kicked, and then you try to join together. That's how games started. So instead of this having a game mentality, it should be a self-defense mentality.
Okay. I understand. I got you. You don't have to agree, but you definitely can call. Thank you, Mr. Nubian. Love and appreciate you. Hope you have an amazing day. 617-282-0062. What is your solution? What do you suggest the solution is? Because you know what? Marching in the streets isn't doing it for me. I love the aerial photos of it. I love, the videos of it. I love the passion. I love the people. But what is the real solution? What do you suggest our solution be? Because this can't come from one person. And there was a post I posted yesterday, and somebody made a comment about we need another Malcolm X. We don't need another Martin Luther King Jr. We don't need another Malcolm X. All the groundwork has already been laid. What we need is for people to unite and to speak on one accord. And what did the Bible say? They spoke one language. They got so high that he had to go ahead and cut it down because they all spoke in one language. We're not speaking one language right now. I think we're beginning to understand how to speak one language. But what is your solution? 617-282-0062. Good Rising, calling you live.
Say about something before I give my idea of my solution is that I was been thinking about what is going on here. This thing has happened as far as Black people being killed by police. Where is this coming from? And I thought about what Shema said about the Black people, African American, Negro, Afro American, that this legislation that George W. Bush put out. And I said, you know what? These people had a meeting at Bohemian Grove and decided that in order to institute this salvage business, they're going to have to initiate some kind of crisis. And this is what they're doing now. They're using the police as a means to orchestrate this institution of using Black people as salvage. And this thing that they did with this in Dallas police, that was a cleanup job. They did not want that man to live. They didn't need to send a bomb to kill him. They had they could use a robot to put instant gas to knock him out. Or they could have
they wanted to use him in
the guy who was shot up all those people in the abortion clinic. They didn't kill him.
Speak on it, baby. Speak on it, mama.
So they could have done the same thing with this guy here. They wanted him dead because they did not want it to be revealed that whether it was Blackwater, Lockheed, Tyco, Halliburton, CIA, FBI, to be revealed that this Black man was an agent who was a sleeper cell. Just like with these people who go on these videos to watch ISIS propaganda, they don't realize when they go into these things, they're not going to join. They're going because they're curious. What is this ISIS propaganda about? And so when they go there, they're not realizing that there's a computer program that clicks on and says, oh, we have a viewer. And then now they go and they watch the person who's watching this ISIL propaganda. And in the process, they're being programmed, hypnotized through the verbal audio hit and the visual audio hit.
Agent Orange, she's talking about a lot right now.
Being programmed. Now, who has the money to do something like this? ISO.
It's not Agent Orange. What's the
Now you say, oh, here's somebody talking about conspiracy theory. Oh, the government. Here's another fruitcake. Yeah, they want you to say there's another fruitcake talking about conspiracy theory to keep you off kilter. But who else has the money to do this? Now you say people all of a sudden are going to join places. They're putting aside all natural nature to preserve self, to kill themselves as to kill a group of people because they want to make a political statement. Well, you know what? I think about back in the late 1987s about Antoine Thorell, the Haitian national, who immolated himself on the State House stairs here in Boston, Massachusetts, because he wanted to demonstrate that he was protesting the U.S. government aiding the government, Haitian government at that time, because of the crisis the Haitian people were being put through under that particular government. I don't know the person who was in president at that time. And then you have the guy from Tiananmen Square who wanted to protest what was happening in China. He put himself in harm's way. He didn't try to go and blow up a group of people to make a point. So my point I'm trying to make here is that these people who are now using themselves as suicide bombers are being people who are programmed as sleeper cells to do this by the governments around the world. Now, these people who use themselves as suicide bombers, they go and kill other people. Now, these people who, the guy at Tiananmen Square who tried to sacrifice himself in front of the tank, and Antoine Thorell, the Haitian national who sacrificed himself on the state steps in Boston, hurt themselves. They didn't try to make a point. They didn't try to hurt a group of people. You can see the difference between the suicide bombers and Antoine Thorell and this guy at Tiananmen Square. They were using a personal statement to say what was going on in their country was wrong.
I love you, baby. I can't wait to go. So I just posted the Antoine Thorell story from 1987. That's currently on Facebook. Thank you so much for your truth. I didn't have to say it because these babies out here already know what it is. And I'm just so glad you called and helped educating the listeners. Thank you.
Yeah. And you know, the other thing that in closing, I'll say this. I believe that Sandra Bland did kill herself. However, she did not do it of her own volition. They used ELF to extra low frequency to cause her to kill herself. Just I don't know if you ever heard of it, the voice to skull weapon that they use.
I actually reported about it 2 weeks ago where they make you hear voices in your head and have you going crazy.
Exactly, and this is what happened with, I believe what happened with Sandra Bland. Somebody on staff at that police station or the jail used the ELF and caused her to kill herself. So I'm not saying she did it on her own volition. No, she did not. They used ELF on her to cause her to kill herself. Now to talk about the solution. The solution. Just like these people meet with the Bohemian Grove and talk about what they're going to do for the next 10, 20 years, we as Black people need to be doing this. We have enough organizations. We have the NAACP, we have the Urban League, we have, what's the other one? That we can meet and set up a 10-year plan, a 20-year plan, a 30-year plan on how to correct the problems that are facing us. We've known since the Kerner report what's going on in the Black community. And this was done in the 1960s, this report was done. So not anything new. There's a problem that was happening in 1960 for Black people are the same problem that's happening now in 2016.
I love you. I appreciate you. And I hope you have an amazing day. You do not have to agree, but you can call 617-282 Good rising, caller, you're live. Good rising.
Hello?
Yes, it's you. Good rising.
Andy, hi, my name is George.
Hi, go ahead, baby.
Solution, right? These police officers, right? I heard you make a reference to the neo-Nazis that are terrified of black people, right? And these same people, right, that are terrified of black people are getting hired policemen and going into urban areas, and these people are coming from, they don't see black people and they're afraid of black people. How are you going to give somebody a gun and put them in a setting where they're not familiar with and they're scared of the people in the area? There needs to be somebody that will, before these police are put into the field, there needs to be a mediator or somebody. They need to be profiled before they get put into certain areas. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
I absolutely do. There was actually a statement that was made 2 days ago. Somebody said, instead of police being based on their skill, they should be placed based on their character. You shouldn't be able to become a police officer because you can run, because you can shoot. You need to be able to become a police officer based on your character and who you are and your desire to want to help people.
Right.
Good rising, good
That's
rising.
true. And it should be based on where you come from, and because I'm not surprised at what just happened. It's things are out of order right now, and there's something has to be done.
Question is, what do you think the solution is? You think the solution is profiling police officers?
Think so. I think so. These police officers are scared. They shouldn't be in these areas. They shouldn't be in urban areas. They should be in another area. They should have another police officer in the area where these kids are getting killed at.
Well, I thank you, baby. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Well, no, that's it. I just want to, that's firmly what I believe in. Is just that this country hasn't gone that far yet. It's still got a long way to go.
I thank you, babe. I love the fact that you called in. Please call in more often. 617-282-0062. Waking Up with TaylaAndre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. Big City 101.3 FM. Tell me how you feel. Let's talk this out. Let's talk about, if you want to talk about San Bernardino, let's talk about that. If you want to talk about what is a false flag and are false flags real, let's talk about that. If you want to talk about Dallas is not adding up to me, the media told me XYZ, now they're telling me ABC. If you want to talk about Dallas, let's talk about Dallas. If you find it interesting that, somebody goes and starts picking off police, and now all the attention is to Dallas and not talking about the two men that were, unarmed, innocent, had clean records, didn't do anything. The young man that was killed with his girlfriend in the car, they said that he was stopped over 30-something times by multiple police officers. For what? When are we going to address, and again, I want to go back to Policing the Police, a documentary that was on Nightline, and how if you saw that documentary, police were jumping out the car, stopping and frisking everybody. The man was like, yo, I didn't do any, hey, and they took him to the ground talking about some, yo, stop being an idiot. Don't be stupid. Don't pull away from me. I didn't see it. And then towards the end of the documentary, the cop that was doing the most harassing was arrested and he was kicked off the force. Make things that make you go, what happens in the dark always comes to light. But I'm going to need for some of these police officers to have cameras and audios and everything else, because they said that the sniper, I love how they didn't post the picture of him in his United States military uniform, but they posted the picture with him in his Pan-African kente cloth. I think that's hilarious. Now everybody thinks that the kente cloth stands for I hate white people. Oh, read the comments, baby. That's exactly what they think it means. Pay attention. Open your eyes. I'm just here for the comments. Start paying attention, baby. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. Did you get that text message that you're not supposed to put on Facebook? I seen people posting it on Facebook already. Apparently, you didn't read the instructions, because the first thing that damn text message said was, do not post on social media. Y'all got that text message? 617-282-0062. Good rising, call you live.
Good rising, Tayla.
Hey, good rising.
This is T. Michael Thomas here.
I know your voice, T. Michael Thomas.
What I wanted to add to the conversation is the solution is jobs. Folks are hitting the streets. They're frustrated. Now, around police brutality, if there were more officers, like namely of colors, working in the community, they can relate to the people a little better. That's jobs. Folks, these young brothers and sisters or older who's on the streets beefing, it's all around money, a lack of job, a lack of opportunity. This is why the training comes in, People's Academy and other programs like that. You teach them a trade, you give them a job opportunity, it will cut the violence. Am I right?
When you're right, you're right. I'm not going to argue with you when you're right.
We need to focus our energy to our elected officials, focus ourselves on voting, focus ourselves on if we have a skill or a profession, each one teach one. We need to focus on holding our elected officials accountable and saying, listen, we elected you to come into our community, to go to City Hall, to go to the State House, and to go to Washington, D.C., to better our lives like every other elected official are doing in their community. We expect the same. We demand the same. There are a lot of jobs, especially construction jobs, that people are getting paid over $40+ an hour that don't even live in Massachusetts. We need to hold our elected officials accountable and say, listen, we want those jobs. We need to stop seeing our babies fighting over hustling that they will never retire on. We want those jobs. We want those training components. That's out of my solution.
And you know what? The part of that solution, T. Michael Thomas, is the fact that we have ordinances that are not being regulated. We have laws on the books that are not. What consequences are there? What consequences are there? In all seriousness, and I'm talking to every elected official, all the elected officials that want to show up to events. What are you doing as far as holding the feet to the fire for these ordinances, for these laws that say if you live out of state, that's fine. You can work here if you live out of state, but you have to meet the minimum requirements of Boston residents, of female workers, of minority workers, even though we are the majority, have always been the majority, will always be the majority, but minority workers.
The thing is, like you just said, over the weekend I went to the bowling building. There was they had some stuff put together there, and I'm hesitating because I'm so frustrated. They had these tables, and Brother Supreme and I from the NAACP were trying to tell this other brother who claimed he works with gangs. But we're telling them, listen, these kids need jobs. They need to be trained. They all turn to the streets in a way to make money. But we all know that street money, you cannot live or retire off of street money. But you can live and retire off of a trade, a skilled trade. That you can go in any city, in any state, buy a home, a second home, like they've been doing. They're trying to distract us away from all this construction build-out because they know it's the key to the middle class. We need to get together and focus on getting our people on these construction jobs, making over $75 and now included all your insurance and everything else. We're being distracted. We need to get folks jobs.
T. Michael Thomas, the People's Academy, thank you so much. Love and appreciate you. Hope you have an amazing day today. I'm excited because he's right. He's absolutely right. And I've reached out, sent emails on T. Michael Thomas's behalf about the People's Academy. Why haven't we seen, like, we have all of these problems, right? There's a solution here. We have all of these problems as far as education to jobs, yet there is a solution here. We have all of these problems as far as economic development, yet there is a solution here. We have all of these problems about reentry and people that are coming out of prison that don't have the ability to work because of their quarry. There is a solution here, but not one representative, not one elected official that represents you and I is going out of their way or doing their due diligence to make sure that the People's Academy or programs like the People's Academy are actually in our community and have a brick and mortar, because that's really, T. Michael Thomas is doing this out of his house right now and has trained dozens of people from our community, but yet nobody wants to give him a building. He's been fighting for a building. I hate it. I hate it for you. I pray that we can work together and get you the building that you need so we can have more training, more opportunities, and more money for our community, for our people. I'm going to read some of these Facebook posts. Let's not forget the #1 job of the FBI is to profile people. If there is an agenda in place, as in Dallas, the subject has to die so they can write their own narrative about the event. They started off, hold on really quick. They started off saying there were at least 4 snipers because of where they were shot and coming from multiple locations. The chief said that in a press conference. And I believe if the first suspect had not turned himself in and exposed them, falsifying him, they would have killed him too, creating a second sniper story. It amazes me that people cannot see this. It amazes me too. Shout out to Nick. Nick says, don't people find it disturbing that a bomb on a robot was used to kill a suspect who was cornered in America with no due process? 617-282-0062. Waking Up with TaylaAndre, Big City 101.3 FM. If you are having technical difficulties as far as this app is concerned, please call 605-475-0008, and that you can go ahead and put us on speakerphone. You can put us on your Bluetooth. You can put us on your pill, whatever it is that you have. You want to blast us. That is not the call in to talk to us number. That is the call in to listen to us number, 605-475-00008. And the number to call in is 617-282-0062. There's a text message that said not to. Oh, I'll send you that text message, baby. But if you have a text message in your phone and it says don't post it on Facebook, but share it with your people, please do that now. Yes, please do that now. So I want to give a huge shout out to UCB Votes, a huge shout out to Determined Divas, to the Union Capitol, to FII, and to the Family Nurturing Center. Why? Because this past weekend, they had an event on Saturday, voter registration, as well as topics on public safety, police, terrorism, creating community-centered solutions to address violence, mental health, transportation safety, community policing, youth relations, and so much more. This was at the Bruce Boiling Building. It was from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It was this past Saturday. Julia Mahia was spearheaded this with the help of Union Capital and, of course, other representatives. And I think it was one of the most dynamic conversations that we have ever had in our community. Elected officials turned out, even though all of them were invited, only 2 of them showed up as they said they were going to. One showed up just to see what was going on. But I want to give a huge shout out because Ayanna Pressley makes her way in the Roxbury, Dorchester, Mattapan on a regular basis. City Councilor at large, Ayanna Pressley. If anybody at City Hall is doing their job, it is Ayanna Pressley. It is Ayanna Pressley. We need to make sure that we vote for her every single time. every single time. As well as I want to give a shout out to Senator Sonia Chang Diaz. She as well came out for the Determined Divas, the Union Capitol, FII, public safety, creating community-centered solutions to address violence, mental health, transportation safety, community policing, and police relations, and so much more. Really quickly off Facebook, has a suspect's family talked about killing, or anyone who knows his, because it's strange, no family members came out, or no one who knows the shooter. Plus, how do they identify a bomb suspect so fast? So I saw a quote-unquote leaked photo of the gentleman that was bombed, and he really, like, it wasn't that he was bombed. It wasn't like suicide bomber blown up. It was more so like, you know, rubble hit him in the head type of blown up. So I'll go ahead, if I can find the picture again, because, you know, they take it down. We live in the country of free speech, right? We live in a country where Trayvon Martin's body was all over Facebook, was all over Twitter, was all over the internet. But as soon as you start posting truth, that's the real hate speech right now, is when you promise to tell the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. Tell me a lie. Who was in the building who said people don't want to hear the truth, they want the comfortable? That was Lionel Media. People don't want the truth, they want the comfortable. Oh, what did he say? Official story. That's what it is. They don't want the truth. They want the comfortable official story. And that's what we've been getting. Because I want to go back to Dallas really quickly. Do you remember when they were talking about Dallas and they said Dallas had bombs planted all over the city? That the suspects planted bombs all over the city? And then it went from the suspect planting bombs all over the city to the suspect having bombs all over him, and he was a suicide bomber, to, oh, we put a bomb on a robot and blew him up. Like, I want, where y'all at? 617-282-0062, because I know I'm not the only, I don't have cable, baby, and I got some of these reports. And I want to understand, like, what is it that you heard versus what the official narrative is currently. And I'm with V from Tennessee, because they did say that it was 4 different snipers hitting at 4 different angles. And I want to know, just like they have JFK and they have like the angles in which he was shot, and they did the simulation of the cartoon characters of if he was shot like this and it went through the front seat and then hit him over here, and then the second one went through his head, but it exited this way. I want to see how these cops were shot, because B from Tennessee said it, that it was at several different angles. The police chief came out and said that there was more, at least four, like it was an ambush. It wasn't just one. How did he, how? 617-282-0062, Verizon caller, you live.
Good morning. All I have to say is you're absolutely correct, and I heard everything that you heard and all those different stories, and then all of a sudden they had to blow him up. Why did they have to blow him up? No, y'all was hiding something. Y'all lying. He's just a fall guy to take it. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. But one thing I want to say is Black folks need to wake up and they need to unite. People really need to start thinking about the days ahead that are to come, that things are not for us. We need to unite together. All this talk, there's a lot of talk going on, but a lot of people not putting their money where their mouth is. So I say this week, put your money where your mouth is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you got to use that little text, put your money where your mouth is. Do what you're supposed to do. Let's come together.
Y'all got that text? I got that text.
Investing in property. Let's start thinking about ways that we'll be able to help each other, because we're all we have. And it's going to come to the point that you're going to have no choice but to depend on each other. And we're not looking at the bigger picture. That's all I have to say. Good morning.
Thank you, baby. 617-282-0062. Big City 101.3 FM. Waking up with TaylaAndre Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. Again, that number is 617-282-0062. Shout out again on Facebook. But no relatives or friends came out to talk about him. No Facebook. Twitter for a 25-year-old. Not even one person from the Army to even talk about him. There is nobody out here that knows this man. And you know what? Let me tell you. Politics, news, conspiracies. One of the things that popped into my mind that I thought about was, did he die overseas? He was in the Army, right? He was part of the United States. Did he die overseas? And now all of a sudden, like, you know, people die all the time in training. Did he die in training? And it was just like, damn, we don't know how to, you know, let's just put him over here. Listen, after you watch House of Cards for 4 seasons and you watch Scandal for, 5 seasons, you start thinking a little differently about your government. Once you start watching some of these things that are supposedly, you know, fiction, but mirror are today, mirror reality, you start thinking differently. Like, damn, they blew up a whole plane to kill one person? I hope I'm not on a plane with one person they're trying to kill. Damn, they really did that? You start thinking about operations and how the greater good of America is more important, and how, you know, uplifting the police and the sympathy for the police should outweigh the sympathy for these 2 individuals that got killed. Actually, if you really want to do your own due diligence, there were over 5 people that were killed in the past week by police. 5 people in the past week that were killed. One was a white young male. One was a Hispanic young male. We know about the two black men that were killed. And then the other one got shot and killed by off-duty police. 5 in less than a week. But let's not talk about that. Let's go ahead and get this sympathy for the police back. We need to go ahead and uplift blue lives. Where Carlos Enriquez say, ain't no such thing as blue lives unless we talk about Smurfs. I love Carlos. Carlos, I adore you, darling, and I wish that you would find your seat once again so you could represent us, because regardless of what happened in your past, baby, you keep repping. And I love you. I appreciate you. Carlos Enriquez, thank you for all that you continuously do. And sometimes I feel like you do more than these paid politicians, and you don't get paid for what you do. Verizon caller, you're live.
Hello?
Yes, baby, it's you, Verizon.
Hi. Yes, I totally agree with the callers, and just they're making up all these stories. None of it is real. Why is there no actual picture of what's occurring? Why is there no actual documentation? There's no family members. They're there to set up stories to make Black people look bad, and then they want to have sympathy for a bigger picture. It's all a distraction. There's something that's going to happen. Watch. There's going to be a natural distraction that's going to make, you know, all these stories of police brutality go away. And then there's going to be a new story about the Kardashians. There's nothing that they want to do to uplift Black people. There's always to say, oh, cops are being traumatized and there's families that's being hurt. But at the end of the day, they just want to keep us down. They don't want us to be uplifting of each other. They're just going to show Black on Black crime, and then they say, that's it. Nothing's going to happen.
That's it? That's how you feel, baby?
Yes.
What's the solution?
The solution is for us to come together. One thing that's traumatizing to our families, we have a breakdown in the Black community. Families are not there for each other. They're only out for self. All this, you know, social media may be a good thing in some ways it's not, but people are only looking for the come up. They're not looking for how to uplift each other, how to make families stronger, education, jobs, all that is all constituted. It's all an institutional bias against Black people. You have so many communities that are growing, and you see how Boston is. I drove by Mattapan for the first time in months, and I'm seeing houses popping up left and right. That's only because white people are coming back into the community. They want to be back in a city where the appreciation of property is going to make them wealth. And that's what our people don't understand. Mattapan looks like it's sad to say it's filthy. You go across the border to Milton, it's a totally different world. It's a totally different environment because people appreciate their property. And it's a problem. It's a problem. We need to value ourselves. We need to value our community so we can appreciate ourselves, because we don't appreciate ourselves.
Thank you so much, baby. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you have an awesome day today.
You too.
Big City 101.3 FM, Waking Up with TaylaAndre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. I want to read some of these comments. His gun didn't have a scope now, so how did he snipe them? Killer Mike in Atlanta has already laid out an excellent plan to effect change. As far as that Killer Mike interview was concerned that took place in Atlanta, Killer Mike looked like he wanted to break down like D.L. Hughley and cry. Like, I really, like, Killer Mike made me feel some type of way when I watched that video. In other comments, I think the sole purpose of Dallas was to raise sympathy for police because they knew what happened in Minnesota could not be twisted or covered up. Police will sacrifice their own too. Don't think they are not above it. It has happened before. Collateral damage is nothing. And B from Tennessee, you're absolutely right, because collateral damage is just that. It's collateral damage. The greater good of the country can be sacrificed by, I can sacrifice you. If it's for the greater good of the company, I can sacrifice 100 and something people. Like, I know, Taylor, you cannot compare Scandal to what's going on out here, but when you look at Scandal and it looks like real life, you start thinking differently. And I started thinking differently when they shot down 300 and something people, murdered 300 and something people because they thought Olivia's mother was on a damn plane. Y'all forgot about that. And that was around the same time planes started missing. You like, hold on, this look like real life though. I'm scared. This looks like real life. So friendly fire. You're absolutely right. Sometimes when you go into training, friendly fire is a real thing and you can be killed in all right. You remember the Marines? How do you die in a water training? How does that happen? Don't think for 5 seconds for the greater good, baby. There's nothing that we can't do, won't do for the greater good. Really quickly, 15 things your city can do right now to end police brutality. This was sent to me. Thank you, my love, for sending this to me. What we need to do is we need to start talking about solutions. James Hill, I've never been a conspiracy theorist, but these past 8 years has caused me to take another look within the past week. Oh, yeah. We need to stop criminalizing everything. Maybe, just maybe, if we didn't have 1,000 new crimes and 1,000 new things to be criminalized, we can stop it making people look like criminals. We need to stop using poor people to fatten up cities' budgets. We need to kick ICE out of your city, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement agencies. As it stands, ICE can ask your police department to hold someone suspected of immigration violations up to 48 hours before they pick them up. Not only does this incentivize racial profiling, it also makes people with potential immigration issues not really want to come to the police, even if they needed to. We need to stop treating addicts and mentally ill like they need to be in jail, in prison, incarcerated, when they need real help. We need real medical attention, and we need to stop pacifying these issues. We need to make policy makers face their own racism. It's one thing, and it's pretty simple. Law enforcement impacts people of color. We know this. We know this. It funnels them into jail and prisons at staggering rates. Between 1980 and 2008, America's incarceration population grew from 500,000 to 2.3 million. 60% of incarcerated Americans are now either Black or Latino. 60%. One of the primary causes is that policy, whether intentionally or unintentionally or systematically, targets Blacks and Latinos through drug and law search. For example, a report recommends that policymakers should have to evaluate the potential racial impact of any new law that it creates and involve community organizers and people who work with disadvantaged populations in every step of the process. Implementing a common language for how to elevate these topics, from patrol officers all the way up to the mayor's office, and of course, data collect on the results. Totally agree. Actually ban racist policies. Bias in policies can be intentional or unintentional, or it can have been there for years prior, but citizens currently have almost no recourse. If they submit allegations of such conduct, data collections, which we we'll go through a little bit later, is an important tool for establishing evidence of bias. But at the very least, cities, counties, and states should provide avenues through which private citizens can take the police to court when they believe they've been profiled. The term bias should in itself also be a wide array of categories: race, gender, immigration status, housing status, disability, HIV status, and I honestly believe that there is a war on poverty. Poor people are attacked, poor people are marginalized in every area. In every area. What are we doing? What is actually being done? I'll wait. Lord have mercy. Involve the community in big decisions. I really, really hate the fact that the BRA is like, hey, come to our meeting. Let's talk. We're doing something in your neighborhood and you should know about it. Before that even happens, stop. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Before you come to my community and before you kick in my door, waving the 4-4 and tell me what you finna do in my house, how about we sit down and have a conversation about what you would like to do prior to you already having the funds, already having the construction workers, already having the builder, already having, what is it? I can't even think of the damn person's name. Until you have your whole crew, all your money, all you need to do is just come and tell me you finna do something and the building's gonna be put up. Before you start doing that, before there was a damn conversation about what's going on in Roxbury, they were already leveling land. Before the first conversation of rebuild Roxbury ever took place, they already had bulldozers over there by the police department. True or false? Y'all didn't come in here asking people questions about whether or not you want us to come in here. You didn't ask any questions. You had a little secret meeting posted on Twitter. We finna have a meeting next week at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Everybody's at work. We have to change, baby. We gotta change. Really quickly, I want to give a huge shout out to Raspy Rawls. I know this is probably like my 3rd or 4th shout out, but Raspy Rawls shut down the mall in Baton Rouge. Not one damn department store, the food court was closed. That is how, and you've probably seen the meme, you've probably seen the picture about, Baton Rouge mall closed down due to protesters. That was Raspy Rawls and his people out in Baton Rouge. No joke. When you don't make no dollars. And Dave Page is like, what is that going to solve? What is that going to solve? Just taking your money out. One United is a black-owned bank. We have 2 of them here in the city. Take your money out of whatever bank it's currently in, and let's go to One United. Let's put our dollars together. How about we start boycotting? Because guess what? The Alabama bus line, the little small Alabama bus line, was like, listen, what do we need to do to get you back on the bus? What do we have to do to get you back? Hit them where it hurts, baby. Hit them where it hurts. And when organizations and corporations start seeing their money diminish, when their profits start getting lower and lower, those are the people that pay your media. Commercials. Through commercials, they pay. And once those commercials stop coming in because they don't have any money because you're not spending any money, once those commercials stop, it's just like, well, we need to do something different. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result? How many times you finna walk up Warren? How many times you finna meet in Dudley before you do something different? How many times you finna post something on Facebook before you do something different? I have a One United Bank account. I do. I opened it probably 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago. So far, so good. No complaints. They have amazing rates. They have great rates. I like CDs. I like keeping my money. I want to give a huge shout out to a friend of mine who's like, Tayla, don't put your money in the bank. Come buy some silver. I made $200 in the past month. Come buy some silver. There's solutions out here, baby. We just have to talk about them. We just have to share them. We have to do best practices. What's work? What happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma? I wish they had a blueprint in Tulsa so we could restart, rebuild. I wish there was a blueprint to Rosewood so we could rebuild and restart. I wish there was a blueprint to Slocum, Texas. Shout out to E.R. Bills. E.R. Bills is in Texas. We've had him on the show quite a few times talking about Slocum, Texas and the Texas Massacre. And he told us, it's difficult when they're like, why are you stirring up mess? Why are you creating trouble? He's like, I'm a white man trying to do the right thing, and I'm seen as a troublemaker by his own. It's 2016, and he's called a troublemaker for doing the right thing. So what do you think they calling you, baby? Not everybody, not all of them, but what do you think they're calling you? Collection data is obsessive. We need to be obsessive with our collection data. And I don't mean how many seats are at BPS. I don't mean how many people go to City Hall. I don't mean how many people showed up. I mean real collection data. We do. We need to start looking at transparent and researchable information. How many police officers had a case against them this year? I want that. Yeah, that needs to be researchable. How many police officers currently work for the MBTA that are minorities, aka majorities? Oh, I'm sorry, the MBTA only has 74% of Caucasians working for them. My bad. I don't know what I was thinking of, even though we're trying to darken up the department a little bit. Body cameras. I think every police officer should have a body camera. They are over here saying that my dude in Dallas was like, I want to kill all the white people. I'm sorry, it's not funny. But when police come out and they say, the suspect said, I just want to shoot all the white people. Where's the audio? Please, can we have the audio to that? I'd like to hear that. He taunted police for 2 hours. When did he have the opportunity for 2 hours to taunt police? He taunted us for 2 hours and said that he wanted to kill the police. Only white ones. I have a message in my inbox. I have not done my due diligence yet, but I will tell you that there is a report that one of the police officers that was shot and killed in Dallas is a neo-Nazi. His wife is like, no. His tattoos and the things that he's wearing in these pictures, these aren't, they're taken the wrong way. Because prior to them being used by the neo-Nazis, they meant peace and they meant, crusaders. And I'll post it. We can do our due diligence together. But it's weird to me who he follows. I'm going to just post it. I'm not even going to say anything. I'll post it. I want body cameras. I want every police officer to have body cameras. How on earth am I supposed to see you as officer friendly when every time I see you, you're either shooting somebody, locking somebody up, or talking crazy to me because you're in a position of power? But I could have sworn I paid your paycheck. When did a public servant become a neighborhood terrorist and get away with all of their actions? Don't let friends of the police prosecute the police. I think that I have investigated myself and found I did nothing wrong. Why are the police investigating themselves? Why is that still acceptable? Really quickly, let me read some of these Facebook. Thank you for using your voice and talk about the topics. All intelligent discussion is good because it helps our community raise their consciousness around specific issues that affect us daily. They plan all of this before they move the orange line. And yeah, the body cameras do fall off. And they fell off the night. You know what? Let me be 100% transparent. There's about 6 names of people that need to be remembered this week that were shot by police alone. 6 different names. I forgot them all. For me, it's like, say their name. Hashtag say their name, because there is so many names right now. You know, Beyonce, one of her concerts, put up a video of all of the names. It was huge. It was huge. She'd have to put it up, in a moment of silence for each name would be the entire concert. Oversight, 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 oversight. If we learned one thing at all, we learned that we need oversight. We need to figure out what's going on. Why do some of these police officers have armored vehicles? Why do you have a tank, baby? Why do you have a tank in Roxbury? Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, we do. We definitely do. We have a tank here in Roxbury. I'm tired. Why do you have military grade weapons? Why are you in tactical gear? This isn't just for Boston. This is across the United States of America. Why do you look like you're about to go into Desert Storm? Where are you? We need to train police to be members of the community, not just armed patrolmen. Period. Right? There's a lot that needs to be done. I don't have all the answers. Maybe we can come together and put these answers together. I'm going to go ahead and send that text message to you so you can send it to somebody else. Please, wake up. Be mindful. Again, shout out to the Determined Divas, FII, and Union Capital, because they had an amazing event this past Saturday. Score for More also had an amazing event as well in Roxbury. They were on the news. I want to give a huge shout out to them. A lot of work is being done. And last but not least, I want to tell you, the Crown Prince of Terror returns. Bin Laden's son, Hamas, calls for terrorist attacks against the West to avenge his father's death. He's 23 years old. He says that the sinful crime of his father's death will not go unpunished. And a newly released audio calling for terrorist attacks. Dubbed the Crown Prince of Terror, Hamas says his father's 2011 death will not go unpunished. And while his whereabouts are unknown, analysts speculate that he may be preparing to take over the leadership of Al-Qaeda. Now you know, knowing's half the battle. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I want to remind you that Tariq Nasheed will be on air in studio on Friday with me, Waking Up with TaylaAndre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. And he will be at the Strand Theater on Friday night. Doors open at 6 p.m. Show starts at 7 p.m. Make sure you get your tickets online. Do not forget, DavidBanner will be here in Boston July 23rd at the Strand Theater. It's starting to look like a Hidden Colors movie in Boston. People starting to wake up. Y'all starting to understand there's something bigger than me out here. Don't forget ZC Boston, 801 Mass Ave. They deliver, they deliver, they deliver. All the way up Blue Hill till it meets Columbia Road. They deliver until 1 a.m. They are open until 2 a.m. Half price sushi on the weekends. Buck a shuck for the first dozen. Free parking, free delivery. FaceNaturalBeauty.com. I had to go ahead and do a detox soak this weekend. And then got my little good smelling scent. You know that sexual scent. Ooh, wait. I had to go ahead and raise my vibrations through scent therapy this past weekend. Do not forget her summer scrub, the Good Rising, and her charcoal teeth whitener. I absolutely love it. Don't forget the hair milk, 3 days old, as well as the Pum Pum Wash. Again, Tariq Nasheed, DavidBanner. Boston is starting to look like Hidden Colors, and I absolutely love it. Make sure you just educate yourself, baby. There's so much going on in this world, so much going on in your community. Just be mindful, just be aware, and start paying attention. And if you got that text, if you did not get that text message, hit me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and I will send it to you. Again, if you did not get that secret text message that you are not supposed to put on social media, hit me up on social media, and I will send it to you in private. Sure will. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Big City 101.3 FM.
Yep, that's right, baby. You know what it is? It's DJ Sus One, the feature presentation Listen, make sure you wake up with TaylaAndre Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m. on Big City 101.3 FM. Wake up with the Radio Rebel. Politics, news, conspiracies. Wake up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. This is the type of stuff I'm into, all right? Make sure you tune in. Let's go. American Association.
Good rising, good rising. So for those that are currently watching that you guys did not get that text message, hit me up on whatever social media that you may have, or hit me on my inbox on my website, TaylaAndre.com, TaylaAndre.com, and I will send you the text message via email. I'm not gonna say what it says because this is a live feed on YouTube. But if you want to know what it says, you can hit me up and I'll send it to you. But I promise you, it's going to get to you just like the bus boycott in Birmingham, Alabama got to everybody. Not Birmingham. Got to everybody else. So you'll get it. That's what the media says. The Pum Pum Wash. Yes, I did say the Pum Pum Wash. Faith's Natural Pum Pum Wash is absolutely amazing. It regulates your pH balance. You can use it. I would suggest any man that has foreskin to use it as well, because it does the same thing for a man as it does for a woman. It does not smell feminine. It smells absolutely amazing, and I believe you'll enjoy it. Other than that, I can't say this on air. I think it was a false flag. I really do believe that the sympathy of the police came in the form of, you know, for the greater good of America, we might have some casualties. We might have some, what's the damn word? I just said it. Oh, fuck. Collateral damage. There may be some collateral damage, but it 4 different angles. They're saying they came from over here, shots came from over there. If he was up on the roof at 4 different angles, how did he end up on the ground? And in the video, there's a video of a gentleman saying, yo, they shooting such and such building, they shooting. They were inside the building. But yet there's video footage of them shooting back and forth outside the building. There's also a photograph of one of the police officers with a fake orange, like the whole pistol's orange. The whole gun is orange. The entire gun is orange. What gun is that? And then, listen, do your due diligence, baby. Pay attention. If you see something that looks fishy, take a screenshot of it, because they might be able to delete whatever they want off Twitter. They might delete whatever they want off Facebook and Instagram, but they can't delete what's in your phone. Yes, they can, Tayla. They got full access to your phone. They'll delete what they want. I can't tell. If it was not for my detox yesterday, I've been depressed. That's why these curls are 3 days old, because I haven't been able to do anything. I haven't been feeling right. My energy is off. And I'm like, how do we get people to keep their money in their pocket? How do we recreate a Slocum, Texas? How do we recreate a Tulsa, Oklahoma? How do we recreate a Rosewood, Florida? How do we recreate these spaces that are for us? How do we recreate our own economy? We had banks, we had businesses, we had airports, we had international players wanting to do business with Tulsa, Oklahoma. We had corporations that international countries from before we even had planes like that. We had international countries that wanted to work with us. Not work with the United States, but work with Tulsa, Oklahoma. How do we recreate that? Somebody hit me a while ago and told me that in California, there was a small community of blacks and Indians that had their own currency. How do we get back to that? How do we recreate that? And you know you can't get into any building without ID. You're absolutely right. My biggest thing is I want to know, like, Dallas happened like this. Like this. And if you were on social media, if you were on Twitter, Dallas happened back to back to back. Where was there a 2-hour standoff with him taunting police? Where that audio at? He was taunting us for 2 hours. Really? What'd he say? What'd he say? I just want to kill white police. That's what he said? That's all he said. In 2 hours. That's all I just want to kill white police. Where that audio at, son? Because this sound, you do know that the first report that came out on television was that they caught him and it was a neo-Nazi. And then it went for a good 4 hours without them saying anything about who the suspects were. Because remember, there was a woman in the army fatigue that was caught with a duffel bag. You bringing a duffel bag to a rally. You in army fatigue bringing a duffel bag where? There was a woman in army fatigue with a duffel bag. They also caught, who was the other one that they caught? They caught another man that was supposedly had body armor strapped to him. Like, this shit ain't making no type of sense. No sense at all. And all of a sudden, the official report comes out and we're comfortable. Oh, okay. He was in his kente cloth. Oh, okay. You know what he was wearing? It's going to be sold on Saturday with DavidBanner. Okay? It's going to be sold. Y'all better put it on and walk into work like, what? I wish I had a corporate job so I could walk. Listen, if I worked for corporate, they would have fired me I don't know how to shut the hell up. I don't know how to bite my tongue. I don't know how to make you feel comfortable because I'm not here for your comfort. Never was, never will be. Will never be here for your comfort. Will never bite my tongue. Will never make sure that people in my space feel comfortable. Not at all. I walk into the store like, yo, I won't do that. This is a live feed. I won't do that. Really quickly, for those on YouTube, these are some of the comments that are currently on Facebook. Look more into the story, more terror attacks. Is that true? Bin Laden's son wants payback. Yeah, I'll go ahead and post that as well. Did she just say pum pum wash? Sure did. Always will. That's what the media says. Don't people see this place as just crazy, killing your own to make a point? You know you can't get into a building without ID. Good morning, babe. How are you? Leave the U.S. Yes, you had and couldn't prevent them from bombing, period. Come out of her. That's the only way. Marcus was starting a movement. The BRA was in Dudley Station, Roxbury, more than 39 years ago. They just didn't come to work one day and say, hey, this area looks nice. Let's take it. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. They didn't just wake up one day and say, this area looks nice. Let's take it. They've been taking properties for years, eminent domain for years, zoning rights for years, and they've been collecting their properties. It's like Monopoly, when you can collect all your property, and then once you get some money in the bank and you feel comfortable, you start building your hotels. Absolutely. They've been collecting property. One of the things that I asked the BRA is, how many properties do you have? Now, they have a place where you can look at each individual parcel, but it doesn't say how many do you have collectively. When was this acquired and how long have you had ownership of it? How many of these properties do you plan to, open up for the people? None of this. And these are questions that I asked the BRA, and I'm still waiting for answers. How many of the corporations that are winning these bids, how many bids have they won in the past? Do they meet the minimum requirement as far as majority is concerned? I'm going to stop calling black people minorities because we're the majority. We're the majority across the entire world. Why are we regarded as minorities? There's more of me than there are of you. Why am I the minority? I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to leave that thing. I love you. I appreciate you. I could go on for days, baby. But let me go ahead and post this about the Crown Prince Bin Laden's son wanting to avenge his father's death. But I want to go back to Friday really quickly. You remember on Friday when we were in the building with Sabir Bey, and Sabir Bey and I were talking, and hold on one second. Let me go ahead and post this for you. All right, so that's just posted. Take with it what you want. Malcolm X don't come a dime a dozen. I know that's right. So is Jane Kennedy for doing what is right. Her name is not Jane Kennedy. Jane Kennedy was actually the model that we interviewed. Jane Elliott is the one who was talking about white people and privilege and not wanting to give up their privilege and not understanding their privilege and not knowing their privilege. That's Jane Elliott. Absolutely amazing, dynamic. I'll see if I can go ahead and post her information as well. I'm sick. I'm all the way live sick, and I was just about to say something, but with all the thoughts in my head, I completely forgot. So if anybody remembers what I was going to say before I posted, do you remember what I was saying? Of course not. Neither do I. If I do, I definitely will come Facebook Live later on today. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I need you guys to be safe. I need you to be safe. I need you to be mindful. I would say be careful. And I said this to my son. Like, I can't even tell my son to be respectful to police, because even still, that gets you killed. There was a photograph of a man in Texas, had his hands all the way up, like came and turned around and everything. Like, I ain't got nothing. I ain't got shit. And they still gunned him down in the middle of the street. And they have video footage, CCTV watching it. Like, I don't know what it's going to take. Who's going to protect us from the people that's supposed to protect us? And I don't mean that just as far as the police are concerned. I mean as far as the government's concerned. Who's going to protect us? Recently, I went back and I started watching House of Cards. And do you remember when I think he was the Washington Post editor, and he was trying to dig into Zoe and the other guy being killed by Francis. Francis killed these two people, and he's finding all this evidence, and he's like, listen, please help me, please help me, please help me. And nobody could help him. The attorney general wouldn't help him. Nobody could help this man. So he said, fuck it, and went and tried to kill Francis. Like, I feel like that's where we are right now as a society. Like, who is actually helping us? We have police that are killing us. We have the government that's not doing shit about police killing us. Who do we have to turn to? Who do I run to? Nobody. Nobody is out here helping us. We don't have any rules, any laws, any statutes stating that police officers, and Bernie Sanders said it best. Anytime somebody dies in police custody, that should be a red flag. Period. I bet y'all wish y'all could vote for Bernie Sanders right about now, huh? I wish I could too. I'm actually really sad about that. Again, let me get out of here because I could talk all day long about everything that is balled up, not only inside of me, but inside of every single last one of us. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you have an amazing day. Let's keep this conversation going, not until 7 a.m., but all damn day. Start making white people feel uncomfortable. I want you to start talking about this at work. How do you feel about the fact that 2 black men were killed and they were unarmed, and what kind of repercussions? That's what we were talking about. Going back to repercussions and the fact that we go overseas and we bomb people, and after I bomb your daddy, what do you think the son's gonna feel? How do you think the son's gonna feel after we just kill mama, daddy, sister, brother, and he's the only one left, and he's overseas like, fuck America. Like, I fucking hate America. Y'all killed my siblings, y'all killed my parents, everything that I've ever known, anything that I've ever loved, y'all killed it. You took it from me. So how do you think they feel? How do you think we felt when they came over here and smashed into the Twin Towers? And there's also a picture that I posted on Instagram of people are saying that it's photoshopped, but it looks like one of the windows being blown out of one of the Twin Towers prior to the fall of the previous floors. So this floor is falling and has all of this debris and everything else, and then it's like 6 floors down, and it's a blowout of, I've never believed 9/11. When I sat there and I watched the planes flying the Twin Towers, I knew it was some fuckery. Like, I was like, we might be guilty. And this was pre-conspiracy theorist days. But if we are going overseas and we are killing hundreds of thousands, and it's our fault, you don't think for 5 seconds that somebody's son, somebody's daughter is going to want revenge. It's human nature, baby. And we keep putting ourselves in circumstances and positions to make it worse for ourselves. But I'm going to shut the hell up. On and on and on and on. I love you.